Welcome to English Language Arts, 7th grade, with Ms. Hoover and Mr. Hasselberg. I am Ms. Hoover. A little bit about me. I have my degree in middle school education. I graduated from Illinois State University. I've been teaching here at Jane Addams Middle School for 19 years. I have a son who's 9.5 years old and the love of my life. I have two dogs, one of which we got during COVID, so she is new to us. And some of my hobbies include reading, traveling, biking, swimming, camping, photography, and spending time with my son.
Hello, my name is Mr. Hasselberg. This is my 13th year at Jane Addams Middle School. I've taught language arts, social studies, math. I have taught pretty much every subject there. I have a master's in special education from Chicago State University. A few things I like to do is hang out with the family, like to read good books, play a lot of sports. And my favorite is definitely basketball. Remote learning will be a little different this year than it was in the spring. Uh, y- each student is responsible for checking in at that given class time. Work in our class would be assigned through Google Classroom. You're going to see all the links in their Google Classroom. Classwork is not a pass or fail. You will be assigned grades, and to check those grades, you need to make sure you log into Infinite Classroom. We will be using Zoom for all the actual face-to-face classes, and making sure that you are participating is going to be a really key component to learning this during this time.
Remote learning comes with a set of class routines. We are always going to start our class on a Zoom call. These Zoom calls will be for the first 40 minutes of class. The students will also have a routine that takes place during these Zoom calls. First, the students will start right away with a do now warm up. Once everyone is in on the Zoom and we're ready to begin, a whole group mini lesson will take place. This will run just like class, where we will have small groups, large groups, independent groups, all while working on Zoom. Finally, the students will continue to work independently during the last 25 minutes. During this time, we may conference with individual kids or groups, all while on Zoom.
There are a few Zoom meeting expectations. Make sure you log in a few minutes before class. There's a waiting room. Just hang out there for a few minutes before the teacher lets you in. Uh, while you're on Zoom, you want to make sure you find a quiet place to work. Check your surroundings, make sure everything is intact and you're ready to learn. It's a good idea to make sure that your Chromebook and computer are charged. Try to make sure your correct name is displayed on screen. Wear appropriate clothing. Use your headphones if you have them. Mute yourself unless you are asking a question. Raise your hand to speak by pressing the little raise hand icon. Speak clearly. And if you are unsure, ask a lot of questions. Use that chat function. All work will be posted in Google Classroom. Slideshows will be in Google Classroom for reference. Other platforms will be used but be taught to them in class. We use Actively Learn, Achieve 3000, Pear Deck, Padlet, Flipgrid, Google Forms, and there may be a few others that we work in throughout the year.
Reading workshop. Reading workshop is similar to what it has been in the past. Reading workshop includes mini lessons, shared text, close reading and annotating, the use of online platforms Actively Learn and Achieve 3000, all of which will help your students become a better reader. 7th grade independent reading expectations. Every 7th grader should read at home every day for 20 minutes. This should be a seventh grade appropriate book of choice, and it can be an online book or a physical book. We will also talk in class in the next week on how to get these online books and physical books in their hands. With this book, they will have a weekly independent reading question. These questions are based on the current standard that we are working on and are used to emphasize their understanding of the standard in multiple texts. I also put at the bottom here an asterisk like, why should students read 20 minutes a day? And if you see on our picture, it says a student who reads 20 minutes a day learns 1,800,000 new words per year.
The homework completion and submission policy is pretty straightforward. Students will be assigned homework every day of the week for this class. So, at the very least, each student should read for 20 minutes at home, something that they want to read, something enjoyable. Most homework is done within the Google Classroom format.
We know remote learning will have challenges. So, here are a few helpful tips to hopefully make things run smoother for you and your student. First, be sure your child is getting enough sleep. 8 to 10 hours is exactly what they need. Next, set up a daily routine. Help your students create a dedicated, quiet, and distraction free space to complete work, and show a positive attitude toward remote learning slash school by having a meaningful dialogue with your student about their day. And finally, help them stay organized in whatever way that works for you as a family.
Of course, the best way to reach us is through our email. You can reach Miss Hoover at hooverca@vvsd.org, or myself, Mr. Hasselberg, at hasselbergeh@vvsd.org. Thank you.